Showed up for the Million MAGA March over the weekend, and our next guest says this happened despite big tech silencing the organizers. Joining us now, Adam Weiss, a political strategist and CEO of AMWPR, who was there this weekend. Adam, it's good to see you. I want to get your whole take on what happened over the weekend, but let's start with the positive, right? Tell me about the beginning of the day, the overall feeling at the rally.
Well, my beginning of the day, I left about 8 a.m. to drive to New York, and the first stop we made on a rest stop, we walked in to get a cup of coffee with a colleague of mine, and we saw these young people with MAGA hats on, MAGA games. You're going to the rally? They said, yeah, we have 4 buses outside from Pennsylvania, somewhere in Pennsylvania. I'm like, this is amazing. I walked outside, it's amazing, 4 buses. How did this happen when big tech, Facebook shut down pages? I didn't really hear anything in the mainstream media about the rally, but through the echo chambers of social media, people started hearing about it. So I said, I have to go out there, support the president, see what this is all about, and, stand up for what's right. At least we need an account. We need to find out if some of these votes are fraud, some of these votes are coming in illegal. That's what we deserve in Americans. So
yeah, and as you say, I mean, those busloads, they made their way to D.C. It was a huge crowd that showed up. I mean, I'd seen videos. Everyone seemed very peaceful and happy to be celebrating together. And then also the president even drove by. What was that moment like?
That was unbelievable that the president would actually drive by with the crowds in Freedom Square. He did a loop right around Freedom Square with the crowd cheering him on. I mean, what other president would come out purposely? You knew his supporters came out just to celebrate this day. And it amazes me that these people come out and they're upset, obviously, because they feel the election was stolen from them. But music's playing, they're dancing, they're cheering. There's entrepreneurs. Every 100 feet, you see somebody sets up a table and is selling merchandise, Trump wear, Trump packages. I mean, it's amazing the amount of entrepreneurs he's created through the Trump movement, just selling things and enjoying, whether it's food and hats. But I would guesstimate that there was probably anywhere from 300,000 to 500,000 people there.
Wow.
Does DC say 200,000? So I see some people on Twitter saying 1 million people, but my guess, 300,000 to 500,000 people. They went all the way to the Supreme Court, not 1 ounce of violence, not 1 ounce of anything. And people even cleaned up afterwards. But during the day, I saw there was some Proud Boys, which they were peaceful. They weren't doing anything. But they're some pretty big dudes in the Proud Boy movement. So I said, if Antifa or BLM come around later, there's going to be some, it's going to be some fights happening probably. Yeah. So
yeah. Well, as you say, there was a huge crowd that represented the red, white, and blue. You saw American patriots out there exercising their First Amendment right to protest peacefully. But then, as you allude to, kind of this darkness came in, and there was violence that we saw play out. Who were the agitators behind the violence, and what really happened when things went south?
When I was walking down East Street, I was heading down towards get the car. Probably about 250 BLM Antifa activists driving by us. And I didn't have any MAGA wear. Luckily, I didn't have any MAGA wear because they were deep in blue. They had sticks on their back. They were ready to go. They had putting lights in our eyes. And Mason, you can see they had all sorts of paraphernalia ready for fights. And a lot of interesting things they do. They have fake media with them, all wrapped up in black with media on them. And they carry a bunch of fake medics with them. They have people that dress up as medics just to cause chaos. But I said, this is like the beginning of their trail. And there were 250 of them. I said, where are the police? So there were like 2 cop cars following them about 2 blocks behind. And then I walked up a little bit, and it just started. I just saw, this is getting bad. This is about to go down, because way up 2 blocks up were the Trump supporters, and here they come. And I'm saying, and they waited to about 6:30, started getting dark, and that's when they came out.
Yeah. Did you feel?
Attack Trump supporters solo. It's amazing. They strategically come out when it's dark, attack all the Trump supporters, young supporters, when they're solo by themselves. It's a disgrace.
Yeah.
It's an absolute disgrace. And where's the media?
I know. We're trying our best. We're covering it here, as you say, and we appreciate you coming on the show, sharing your story as well. Definitely a huge crowd showing up. It's really hard to ignore. And then also, as we see the violence that's played out, unfortunately, at the end of the night. Adam Weiss, glad you are safe. Glad you were able to join us this morning live on Newsmax. Adam, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.